CVC on F2P, OMG, WTF, BBQ. Sorry, I'm running out of acronyms. Hello, everyone. Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends. We are here on the Free to Paws account, and we are here to talk about CVC. But first off, hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Hopefully your CVC is going well. But again, more importantly, you're having a wonderful day. That is the most important thing. Just, take some time to enjoy life. If it's playing Raid, if it's not playing Raid, we're here to have fun. So we are here to talk about CVC points and the free to play. Now, I've talked about CVC points before in a specific video. In fact, if I can remember to, I will link that up above. But I want to talk a little bit about just how I manage it on my free to play and how many points I manage to get on my free to play. So, as you can see here, it is currently the morning of the second day of CVC, and I have put together 150,000 points on my free-to-play account. Now, how did I do that? Well, we'll talk about it a little bit. And you're not going to necessarily always be able to do this, but you save up some resources, you make a plan, and a free-to-play can do an awful lot. And in fact, if we scroll down here just a little bit further in this particular clan, which of course is my Risen from Kittens clan, I am back in Risen from Kittens, and yeah, I am doing better than some other free-to-play players who have significantly older accounts than I do. Now, I do understand that I play a little bit harder than a lot of people, just becoming a content creator and the fact that I am trying to push the account a bit, but still, 150,000 for a full CVC, especially for personal rewards, is very, very manageable. In fact, I believe I do need to get to 200 because I am tier 2, but I am very close to beginning at this tier 2 one. Unfortunately, we are probably not going to win this CVC. We're close, so there's a shot, but regardless, it is nice to put up some points for your CVC, and here's how you can do it. First of all, one of the things that you can pay attention to that will probably help you quite a bit is find out what is 2x points. So we have Phantom Shogun, which is nice other than the fact that they're running a Sand Devil only tournament right now, which is kind of sus. And we have the Faction Wars objectives. That is something everybody should be able to do. Now, I have not maxed out my Faction Wars objectives yet for today, and of course I'll have them tonight as well after reset. But basically, Faction Wars, if you can do stage 21 is 1,000 points. You're going to run that 4 times, so that's 4,000 points times 2. That's 8,000 points. You do that a couple times, and you're going to have, 6 factions you're going to be able to run this through. That's a lot of CVC points. So 4,000 times 6, 24,000 points right there in Faction Wars if you can run stage 21. Can't run stage 21? That's fine. Pay attention to where these cutoff levels are and run the level that is at least close enough to get the most points. So you generally want to farm as high in Faction Wars as you possibly can. But if you're crunched for time, for example, and you can run stage 16 on auto, but you can't run stage 20, you're not losing out on points because you're running stage 16 on auto just to get it done. You're still going to get the 500 bonus points. On my free to play, I'm running Faction Wars hard as I can, regardless of where it is, because there's a bunch of really good resources for Faction Wars in here. So for me, I'm doing my best to push Faction Wars and get a little bit better. And to be fair, we will probably talk a little bit about my account and some progress I've made while we're doing this video as well. One of the other ones that is actually really good to do on your free to play, and honestly on any account, is Tag. Tag gives you a ton of points for the gold bars that you get from the arena. Now, obviously, if you are a low bronze player, you're not getting a ton of gold bars, but it's still an energy efficient way because it costs you 0 energy to run up to 20 of those fights and hopefully win as many of them as you can. The best way to win as many of them as you can is to go into your tag team defense and pull it. So if we look here on my defenses, I've got 3 epics. They're good epics, but they're not going to last against anybody who's got a real-ish team, and they should be easy to farm. And then on top of that, I look around, I'm keeping myself low, so I'm constantly losing battles in my defense. You can see here on my battle log, I've lost a bunch of fights in a row, and that's as designed. And then I can go in here and take a fight here, and I should be able to pick this off, even though these are legendaries. I should be able to win at least 2 of these, if not 3 of these, and that is going to be 45 gold bars for me in Bronze 4, and that's 5 points each. So that's another 200, 250-ish points, 225, I think, actually. I don't remember. Maybe my math is wrong. Regardless, that's a bunch of extra CVC points for free, effectively. So don't forget to do your tag team arena. Plus, these gold bars can be very useful. Don't forget to pick up your Drexstar Blood Twin if you don't have him yet. The brews can be very, very helpful for doing some stuff. The substat charms can be very viable as well. And honestly, even the skill tomes can be great because it's kind of hard to get skill tomes in once you've gotten to a certain point in Clan Boss. So one of the things I did do to get myself a ton of points is I did pull Lutex Artor. Now, depending on how you're running your free-to-play and depending on how your shards are, you may want to save him for a champion chase. I know on this account, I actually have a decent amount of shards. Now, I don't want to say a decent amount of shards, but I've got some shards saved up. I just got 2 more sacred shards from Clan Boss right behind my head right there. I've got some primal shards. I've got void shards for 2x voids, which is what I'm pretty sure is coming in a week and a half. And honestly, if I've got at least 25 of these things, I feel fairly confident I can finish the summon rush. And if I have to pull a few other non-void shards to finish the summon rush or do other stuff, because there's plenty of other things you can do for summon rush, not summon rushes, but champion chases as well, then I will do those for the champion chase. And meanwhile, the summon rush, now that I have 3 sacreds, well, those fragment champions weren't going to help me for the summon rush anyway. So maybe I end up pulling a few primals, maybe some ancients, maybe I do mystery shards to make my way through. We'll certainly see and figure it out, and I will manage to do the summon rush without an issue. Other things you can certainly do is the forge is a great way to get points. So oftentimes I will save up forge stuff. I've got a decent amount of perception here, but I actually forged about 40 or 50 pieces of perception, just went into quick craft here, put in some charms if I needed some charms, went and selected the filters. So I'm only keeping 5 and 6-star gear that has decent-ish substats, and I'm not keeping flat attack or defense, and honestly the boots I probably should get rid of most of these non-speed things, but you never know right now, especially with faction wars. There might be a reason for me to throw one of these on a champion, but otherwise forge a bunch of stuff. I can cleanse the rest of what comes in that may not be great later. It gives me a bunch of silver immediately, which is obviously a huge problem for free-to-play life, but also that gives me everything I need to get a bunch of points for CVC. So, crafting can be a great way to get some extra CVC points as well. And as we were talking before on Lutex Artor, you'll notice he's already 6 stars. Well, I'm working on the champion training tournament, but champion training is a good thing to be doing during CVC as well, because you're effectively kind of double dipping, especially if you're running campaign. Then you're going to get the campaign points, plus you're going to get Sunny Artifact points, plus you're going to get all the level points for leveling up some of your champions as well. So campaign's not a horrible place to do some free-to-play accessible CVC points. Another thing to look at is the tournaments. So Dragon Tournament is available right now. There is a bunch of speed gear available. Normally, I would not recommend doing Dragons during CVC, but because there is a Dungeon Divers event going on during the CVC, and we also have, the Dragon Tournament as well, and speed gear is definitely something good on a free-to-play account, I decided to run a bunch of Dragon. Now, why is Dragon not great for Clan v Clan normally? Well, if we go to the objectives here and we look at Dragon, we'll notice here that Dragon is worth up to 200 points, going to 150 for stage 25. I'm running stage 6 of dragons, so I'm getting 175 points. Versus if I were to be running Fire Knight, for example, I can farm stage 25 of Fire Knight, so I can get 300 points per run. So I'm actually probably going to change over for any future runs to Fire Knight, just because I can get myself a bunch of extra points on running stage 25. That said, as far as getting better gear, technically Hard 6 is going to get better gear, plus we have the dragon speed increase, but honestly, Fire Knight is a better dungeon for me overall. And for the most part, all the other dungeons are going to be points like this. For most people, Spider is a good one to run in CVC. It's generally quick. It's generally one of the easier ones to get past stage 20 on once you get the right champions, and honestly it's not one of the harder ones to get into hard mode. So a lot of people can run hard mode on Spider pretty reliably, and eventually you can run it fairly quickly. There's plenty of 10-second, 15-second, 20-second Spider teams. So a lot of people do end up running Spider for increased speed here, but you may want to pay attention to what you're doing and maximize it. To be fair, running stage 20 is technically more energy efficient for gear, but stage 25 is more energy efficient for points, because while this is 16 energy for this 200 points here, and this is 20 energy for these 300 points here, the 20 energy generally it's close enough where it's probably not a big deal. Definitely once you start getting on hard mode, it is better to run the hard stages than it is to run stage 20 for CVC points per energy. And skill upgrades are a great way to work on some of your champions as well. In fact, I've got a book here for Dur. As you can see, Dur has booked his A1, which is very, very unfortunate. But, you know, hey, we're finally getting a book in something I care about. Ooh, the revive. That's good. I want to get that revive to a 4-turn cooldown if I can. I'd like to get this heal to a 3-turn cooldown because it's actually a pretty good heal and it's keeping people alive. You know, otherwise, yeah, building champions, you know, ascending champions can be very helpful. Running campaign, honestly, just playing the game is good, but CVC is a good time to save some extra resources for and then run them, because even if you're not going to get the personal rewards, and if not everyone cares about the personal rewards, I would not go out of my way to get these personal rewards. They're good, but it's not the amount of, if you spend more energy in them than you do actually getting from these particular personal rewards, then you've kind of wasted your time. So don't spend too much energy forcing yourself to get these personal rewards. That said, it's nice to be in a clan where that's an option, where we've got people trying, and we do have some people trying. We've got Cyber Amish here doing a good job. We have my old account, somebody's rolling in that, and he's been doing a great job with that. We're certainly doing well. We got Dark Sword, and Dark Sword's free to play. So we've got a lot of work going on in here. We've got a lot of people that are putting in some effort. We got some people that are not doing as well. And to be fair, we should have a fairly easy matchup. We just got a couple people that are going pretty heavy near the top end of this. So who knows? Maybe we'll be able to pull it out. Maybe we won't. But certainly trying and doing our best to get every ounce of points we can helps. And it's honestly, it's a good thing for a free-to-play, because saving some of these resources and waiting for CVC in some cases can be very helpful in making sure you make good decisions. So you don't make a rash decision of, oh, I need to book this champion, and then you pull another champion in the weekend later on. You know, that type of stuff's going to happen regardless of when you do it. But at least if you kind of wait for CVC, you've got kind of a 2-week breather on kind of planning on what champions you might be booking and you might not be booking. To be fair, books are actually a integral part of the champion training tournaments as well. So some people like to use their books there versus CVC. They're both very valuable options. It really does depend on where you're on your account. But hey, those are some of the things that I focus on to be able to get as many points as I can on my free-to-play. I'm a level 69 account, and I've even talked with Roadblock, who I was in his clan for a while earlier. I'm doing 150-ish CVC points on this account pretty easily, and I'm saving some things for CVC, but I'm not specifically saving for CVC as much as I'm saving to get the best rewards I possibly can for the account. And CVC gives good rewards. So if you don't like CVC, you don't have to save a ton of stuff for it, but do pay attention to it, because your clanmates certainly will appreciate you for it. And there's a kind of good stuff you can get in CVC as well. So hopefully you found this at least a little bit educational, a little entertaining. As I mentioned before, I was going to talk to you about the faction war stuff quickly. We did actually finish the High Elf Crypt. I am making some progress in Demon Spawn right here, so I got past this stage 14 and stage 15. My Dora is in better shape now than he was even when I got through these two, so I'm going to see how high I can push in stage 16 and beyond before I have to go to work. And then finally, you know, Bannerlords is certainly crawling a little bit, and Sacred Order. I think with Ludex Artor, I should be able to finish Sacred Order and possibly finish it entirely, so get those extra 5 points in Sacred Order. So I'm looking forward to that in a couple days as well. So appreciate you guys. You are absolutely amazing. How do you run CVC? Do you participate in CVD? Do you celebrate CVC? Sometimes it feels like a holiday. Let me know down in the comments. Let me know how many points you tend to put up on your account in CVC, and how much you prioritize it versus just playing the game. And hit that like button while you're at it. Hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate you. We are approaching 3,000 subscribers, and you guys have been absolutely amazing. Much love, everyone. And until the next video, I'm Bront CatHerder.